Okay, so it's 9:33 p.m. 15 मिनट के चार्ट को देखते हैं। यहाँ पे उसने ब्रेक थ्रू दे दिया है और अपने हाईस तोड़ दिए हैं, which on daily a daily high is broken. That's what it means, and the price is going up for now. Seems so. Last day, which was Friday, was this big day. It went down. It totally recovered, and today is the day where it can potentially challenge this if it really wants to. Yeah, we can expect this candle to come down to these areas and push higher if it wants to push higher, and that is, I would say, my bias for the day, that the market will go up. So these are the two zones that I'm looking at. I'm more interested in these wicks, and this is also not that bad of an area. 15-minute chart, right? So yeah, I have cleaned this up. So this is looking at the 15-minute chart. Clear, easy, higher high, higher lows. 15-minute is in an uptrend. After this sweepy behavior, it looked like that it may not form another higher high, but it is since then breaking structure to the upside clearly. Now it has supposedly reached here, to which it can easily break, but it gave us a reaction. That is what we are looking for. But for now, the swing structure is this new low and this high, which is weak. The low, which put in a new high in this, I would say, still quite up. Yeah, this one. So the POIs are okay, so I remember when this broke happened, I marked these two zones as my buy zones because I was looking for buys, right? Because the 15-minute was going up. But this is what reacting to price action looks like. So yes, buys were valid from these regions, right? But as soon as price broke like this, we can go on to 1 minute and see. Price has broken here on the 1 minute way early, and it is just following order flow. Now you might think that now that it has broken it, you might see a reaction, but this is where the reaction kind of lasts too. Okay, yeah. So my entry is not here actually. It is on the second tap of it. And it worked somehow. I am not too sure about the probability of the third tap into this POI. And that also when it didn't really break the low. Even if it broke here, it doesn't matter, it's this low. So this high would be weak because it reversed from here. So that was going in my mind when placing this trade. I didn't take this trade, I just placed it here. That's why I didn't think too much about it. But it goes on to show that how on the 15, when price has broken down and it forms a range, and in this range it could have come up to here, yeah, no doubt about it, but it just I guess didn't come up till there, right? So now when the price, let's say if we were looking for buys from here, okay, so this POI gets invalidated right away unless we had a limit onto it. So this is liquidity, there's no doubt about it. We know how to look at liquidity, so this is what it is, no problem. And now we are in this POI and we did get a reaction. Okay, now we have a tap that got swept and that also went down. Okay, now we have a good reaction. Now at this point we would like to, let's say, go long if we wanted to. But yeah, it is dependent like totally on us. Okay, so like depends how much you're targeting. If you believe, okay, the whole story of this one, you're probably targeting this man. You are really bumper dumper guy because of that higher high, and you think that this low which is formed right here on the 15 is the higher low of the 15, right? This is what you think, and you want it to breach this high. That's a great idea. So let's see what happens. And we did get an entry. We were trying to get in on a retest, but it seems to be having some troubles because it's just ranging. The good thing is that this area is holding really well, right? If I bring it here and kind of mark this zone, is holding really well. And we do have some structure breaks to the upside, right? Yeah, now at least we have two at this point. This is the first one, right? And then it wasn't the best one, but then it finally has done it. To define structure breaks, now people will be looking in buys. This is where my other buy was, which you can say is a little high considering, you know, the leg that it can come to retest for sure. Oh sorry, a buy from here is still valid, but yeah, this is also valid. Just falling down. Oh, just in it, barely in it, so I could have got like to 50% of it, but finally it has broken to the upside. And we then, well, it depends for this trade what you're targeting, right? You at this point, you know, it can come down pretty quickly, so at best you would say till this. I would say till this, which is 1 to 5, which is not bad at all. And the stop loss was 2.9. Yeah, the stop loss is on the tighter side. 5.5. This was a yeah, on a 1 minute trade. Yeah, 5.5 is also not bad. And the idea behind holding this trade and yet is because again I did just take it like in paper trading and wasn't paying attention. This 3 a.m., this is not the time I was trading. I did put this one at 2:30, and this goes on to show that how a POI or a demand supply level gets respected. This is the third tap that I am getting it. This is just above my POI, inducement getting created and inducement getting taken, right? And then I see this move up. This is the candle where I kind of put it, right? This candle is my signal, I will say this in this scenario. And yeah, it's ranging. It wasn't the best, but the good thing is it's not coming in drawdown, so you can hold, I guess. But I don't know how it will be in real time because I didn't take it, right? Okay, so the idea for both these, this would be the scale in, right, which is 5 hour, and the idea for this trade, which is 8 to 9 hour at this point, is that this high is weak. Yeah. So let's say if we continued holding, and oh, it took me out, right? So this happens all the time. That's why we take partials. And if you would say this area would have been a good partial, this also would have been a 5 or 4 5 hour trade, right? If full TP'd, and if something was left open, then it would have been till here, but we'll see. Okay, so this would have been a good parceling out zone. Okay, now so in the process of that I kind of lost track of this. So what happened here? Let's see what happened here. Price continued going up, then there was this push down, which really defined that the sellers are coming in, right? It was held here, but then it was met again with supply right here, which is to be expected. And probably after seeing this, and I would call this like a break. This would have been my entry. Yeah, entry would have been difficult, but yeah, whatever. Yeah. This would have been just too tight. This is not even worth it. This is 2 pips, right? So it's not cool. The best one can really say is this way, I guess. And going around 50% of it. Whichever way you like, you make sure that you can easily have a stop loss of 5 pips. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that is how you take it. So this could have been a possible entry as well, but again I'm not available to see all of this happening in real time because I'm not monitoring. So it did finally come down, broke this level without much reaction to it, and even this level without much reaction to it. So it just kind of proved to us that this was in fact not a higher low, this was in fact a lower low. which is fine. This happens, I guess, right? Yeah, this totally happens. Let me show you this on 15. So could this be my new higher high? That is what I'm asking. Let's go on 15 to get some perspective on things. So these are the exact wicks where I was, and I pushed for the 15 swing high, right? So what happens here is that it gets to the flip zone and gets rejected, which is totally fine, right? It is supposed to do this. This is a interaction zone. It can do it. So what I am saying is that I was supposed to expect this. Yeah, that is why I was supposed to take off partials right here and try to get in here if I wanted to, but as clearly it just went down. Okay, so now what we have here is that we have a new higher low that is formed. Which it should be a higher low, right? Higher low, sorry, and this low, which is right here, probably is protected. This is what we are thinking right now, right? Yeah. So at this point the order flow is bearish, so I should be looking for shorts, right? But the trend is structure is bullish. Do you understand that? The swing structure, which is sitting from here to here, is bullish. Internally, order flow is bearish, which is lower time frame trend, as you can see here. And at this point these longs should start making sense, because there already has been inducement, and if structure has to hold, this is the higher protected area, right? This is the higher low. This has to be the higher low that is forming right now, otherwise 15 structure will break. So let's say if this area is to be protected, and now we are getting some breaks to the upside, whatever, let's not get, okay, that's a good break now. Okay, so it is chaining and it is continuing to go up. Yeah, now this is where my entry should be, I think so. This area does make sense. This is 9 pips, but let's say this is dangerous, right? Let's call it 9 pips, no problem. And in fact it did not give me an entry at all. It just continued to go up. So which is fine, happens, I guess. This was the entry. But yeah, using a stop loss which is small is important, and you cannot cover the low if you want to buy here. But it's too risky, right? Yeah. Similar to something like this that happened here. Yeah. In both cases a sweep could have happened, but didn't happen. Yeah. That's right. could have happened but didn't happen, which is fine, which is a missed entry. No problem, not a missed entry, right? It didn't show up, that's it. So now what do we have here? Now following the order flow, this is where, okay, now the order flow has shifted at least on the 1 minute, but on the 15 it is still bearish, and it is going to get tested right in this. This is the battle of, let me write it down if you want me to. 15 order flow, which is bearish, versus 15 trend, right? It is a higher time frame intention, plus it also has 1 minute order flow. And what does 1 minute structure change? When this goes, right? The structural, oh sorry, this is the structure, right? That's holding it. 1 minute structure. Okay, so I don't know, something's wrong with my mouse. Yeah, I don't want to highlight this line too much, but this is what M1 structure is. Okay, so let me play the price forward, and it has broken through it, right? So it is clearly let me just get rid of this. At this point, the match is over. It has clearly broken it and had formed a range on it, and now it is coming into a buy position. If you ask me, there are potential buys right here. Let's try and put it right here. And it kind of, oh wow, initially it didn't give an entry, then it came in and did give an entry. That's just like, wow, could you believe that? And in the whole process of this, my mind shifted if this is a good idea or a bad idea, putting it right there. It flipped, seeing this move up, and it kind of just sweeping this thing, you know, and coming back down so badly. But yeah, it turned out to be the correct trade. The target should have been this high, at least this high, right? 2.6, because the stop loss was too high if I was going for something like this, but this was much safer. So what happens once it goes up? It forms a range there. It has easily broken this, right? And it forms a range there in which it is kind of forming a flag pattern. It's breaking structures to the downside. There's potential liquidity starting to form here, right? And here now it is trying to hold this, formed a double top of sorts, and then broke down. So this is bad news. It seems like that the sweep might never come. and it is going down. This is what it seems like at this point. Yes, it is clear that it is going down. So the question is, should we get involved here? Try to get involved here. Let's try to get involved. Can it sweep this? Let's wait. Doesn't seem like in a mood to come up, really. Got hit again. Okay, getting in possibly and then going down. Yeah, it's a possible entry right here. Oh wow, this is a very good move. Still a lot of move. Possible entry in this region. 1, 2, 3. You see 3 taps. 1 creates the POI, then 2 taps. Similar entry to this one creates the POI, then 2 taps. 2 taps here as well. So if there are taps into it, there's probability that the price will eventually move out of that region, right? Okay, so look at this, the long from here and then a short from here, from the same region. Let's see in 15 what this region is. A long from here initially, then a short from this region. And why were we taking shots at this point? Well, partially because I knew the price went down, but the story at that point would have been that yes, we've created a new higher high, so actually we would be expecting new highs, or maybe you can say just following order flow, not bothering with anybody. So this is where we chose to get in because of the structure and disregard the order flow, and it paid us, right? And in this process we started following the order flow, 1 minute order flow, and here now the order flow is bullish, right? When it starts to break down here, we were expecting a sweep but never did it came. Then it broke till here, and even here it was breaking down and this area was holding. So we can hence get in on using the order flow, because the order flow shifted as soon as this low went, and our entry is after this, right? Yeah, so most of the times we are following the order flow, and only on few occasions we go with the structure like this, the structure, because this was a point where structure had to hold, but this time it actually went on to break, wick the structure, and then now is on 15 creating this sort of thing, which on one I'm sure would look like this. So this is a structure, it just wicked it, it's coming back up, at least on 1 minute it's trying to. So it is always good to keep 15 back of your mind, right? Always good to keep it there, because you are sitting live in all time frames. Okay, so this one has broken structure to the downside, substructure, whatever. So there is, what are we looking for? Are we looking for buys or sells at this point? So it wicking it shows me that if it wants to go up to these regions, we probably should we buy now? This is a good place to buy, I would say. This is a good place to buy. Okay, so that didn't go well. It just continuing to go down. Okay, there's this upside break, this continuation to that break, and we are at the ultimate last point of it. Do you want to take a buy from here in anticipation that the price can go up? What do we have on 15? This low kind of looks weak on 15, so I don't think we should be taking buys here. There is now, as the structure is breaking, that means the 15 structure is changing. Now this was the higher high. Now we're looking at lower lows because it has broken its swing structure, and now this is a lower low, actually potential lower low informing. So okay, this is what happened if we would have got it into a buy. It collected the order and fucked you. That's what it would have done. See, hence we were not supposed to trade from this weak area. Where do you go and start looking the confirmations is very important. Right here it showed promise, but it was continuing. It broke down, and it came to the very extreme, but it just didn't work out there as well, right? So now the low is getting formed, I would say. So this region right here is primed for this. Let's go down and try to look what happens. Okay. Okay, now is the time to buy, I would say, because this was all inducement, I guess. Both of this just got liquidated right now, and I would expect the price to go up a tiny bit for sure. Okay, now my stop. I'm actually okay. I am in this 15-minute zone, that is for sure. My mouse movement is so reduced, I don't know what is the case. But This still doesn't look like a good area to trade from. We don't have to be the first one in, right? So I will let this trade go. So this is a trade that I'm not going to take, okay? Okay, so it would still be running. So now we are live. Yeah, everything depended on, yeah, you can't really say where the stop loss was, right? So yeah, this is that I would not have taken. Anyways, it came breaking down after these whatever I saw to for the entry. I don't know what did I see. I just saw the break. Okay, and this coming up here. Okay, so probably wanted to enter somewhere. Yeah, but it continued the chain, then went up. So my idea was invalidated. So I would still say that these regions are still weak. Oh, this has already been swept. So how about this region? Is this still weak? Do you think that? Yeah, see, this is just mapping out structure. Now this is what we are doing, mapping out structure and order flow. So to me this is still weak. A lower low has to be formed somewhere here. So I would suggest following just 1 minute order flow in these regions. Look at this, swing structure points. Clear taking off liquidity. This was a good entry in my opinion. Just liquidity right here. Order flow shift, counter order flow, and pro trend to M1. Pro trend to M1, counter order flow. So this was a good entry, possible entry. If one had looked for shots, right, in these regions, what was I looking for in these regions? I got into probably say shots here, right, and then this is where I was looking for longs here. Okay, yeah, which is fine. I didn't take longs here because I knew it would what it did, and it would eventually fucked, right? I knew I didn't take it, and this is where the short opportunity was, which I actually missed, I would say. This is where was a very good short opportunity. It tested the whole range again and then went its merry way down, and even now we expect this to be gone. So what I would suggest, yeah, this was a possible trade entry. Let me mark it here, mark this one also here, possible trade entries. Shorting in somewhere in these regions, 5 pips SL, and let's just go to fixed 5-5, right? If we get 5 out of 5, we are quite happy. We got 5 here, we got 13. Oh, the stop loss is just 1.8. Wow, this was a very tight stop loss entry available, right? Because the POI was tight and the third tab is what I was trading, right? So everything depends upon the POI, the box that you draw, and then the taps that it gets and the price moving away from it. right here, right here. One draws it, second tap, third tap. Okay, so yeah, if I was looking for shorts here, this was a clear good entry. Even here, one might be enticed into longs for some reason, for the reason being that this was a 15 swing structure which had got wicked, but it eventually broke. And why were we so confident about, not confident I can say, but still holding this a possibility breaking down a 15-minute swing structure, is because it's no big deal, it changes all the time, right? Where is the 15 swing structure changed? Right here, this is where it wicked it, then it finally came down. Right, so this to me is a swing break. Is that what you're saying? After this high was formed, something had to be swing, right? So this was the swing. Yeah, so when a swing break happens, we can market it as this. Let's just say this, right? Now the swing structure is this to wherever this low forms, and all these lows which were protected till now become targeted, unless until a 4-hour POI gets hit. These arrows are definitely not good looking. Until unless a 4-hour POI gets hit, which would be somewhere here, and price goes up again, which is a possibility, not gonna deny it. Good possibility. So that has to be kept in mind. Always there's a time frame above you. Go ahead and look at there. So let me just go back to 15 because these arrows are not good at all. Yeah, this is bullshit. So let me just fix this. I'll pause it.